Your name's Peabody.
That's right.
It wasn't our party you did last
So
night.
you missed the most important 7 or 8 minutes.
Benjamin is?
Wow, you guys seem so
I was
wow.
so there last night.
Like that, like that.
Right.
Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, thank you.
And me, and the big Dutchman, Williams. But it was your fault. You started playing Jack Farn among his box with a bunch of copper spikes. I've never seen a man on
creative,
Well, I paid for it, didn't I? It was my money, and you had your share.
This shit's 75 years old. Well, you're together. You're not getting anywhere. You're not accomplishing anywhere.
I suppose your credit's gone.
I imagine. Sydney,
Yes?
what is this place?
This is a beach, chap. And the island's Fufuti.
And what the devil's Fufuti?
3,000 miles from the nearest pub.
I did have some
This is
cufflinks
so
and things.
creative, so
Well, what became
creative.
of them?
Hey, you got any smoke left?
Oh. Here.
Thanks. Well, you're on the beach now, lady, that's for certain. And you won't knock it, you won't.
Do you?
Me, I used to it. But look at your hands. Oh, you never did a day's work in your life with them soft hands. He was probably a gentleman. But you're a beachcomber now, maybe a lousy beachcomber. And you needn't expect me to do no begging for you, for I won't know for you.
You missed the most important part of that
features of the Sydney duck, who was hunched on the sand beside him. The prominence of the nose and lip, the thin pink ears, the jutting teeth that gave him the feeble ferocity of a
creative
rat.
mind of the
But at the same time, he was conscious of himself, only in a different way. Here was Junius Peabody, washed up on the beach at the far edge of the world, like any other bit of useless jetsam, to stay and to rot.
The only problem is we'll never hear this
Pretty
one
low.
again. They don't read
Oh, it ain't so bad, nobody starves here, that's one thing. You can always fall in with a wedding or a birthday or something. Or maybe you come across a new chum with a bit of class.
We've been through all this tonight twice already. You're not
Like
impressing
me.
anybody.
Oh, there's plenty like you. The pearl fishing brings it when you see. When they're stony like you, they usually take the job till they get a
Yeah,
chance to get
keep
away.
flashing all sorts of weird
That
shit
is,
on the screen.
if they're able to do anything at all. What can you do?
That's a good question, Sydney.
Well, what can you do?
I can fly a Spitfire, and I'm a good judge of French brandy.
That's not much, is it?
Not much.
Hey, yeah, what's the name? Where are you going?
I'm going to take a swim. Have you had yours yet?
Morning bar on the beach at Fufuti.
You can't tell, Sydney. You might like it.
Oh, God. Can't prove that water ever helped anybody. Hi. You really are going in.
Yes, I really am. Keep an eye on my things, Sydney.
Oh, right you are, me lord. Hope the bath ain't too cold, me lord.
Junius walked down the sand alone to the water's edge and stood looking out to where the sun sent a long, glittering path toward him across the morning sea. And he was suddenly conscious that he made an ugly figure under the clear light. He moved out into the water till it reached his knees. Then something bumped against his shin, nearly tripping him. He could see the object floating nearby. It was a rough lump of some substance, grayish-brown, the size of a boy's football. He picked it up. To the touch, it was greasy.
Sydney! Sydney, duck!
What?
Come down here to the surf a minute.
I'm close enough now. You got something to show me, right here?
This was floating about in the water. I think I know what it is, but I can't quite believe it.
Think you know what is?
This. Sit up and have a look at it.
Hey, boy, the great Lord, it's the stuff. Look at it, all smooth and greasy like. Oh, we ain't struck it rich nor nothing. Oh, no, not much.
But shouldn't there be an odor, a perfume?
That comes later when it's not so fresh, and anybody else would know. Hey, what could this be but ambergris, worth nearly 2 pounds an ounce, right here on Fufuti. Here, let me take a feel of it.
2 pounds an ounce.
Ambergris is right as rain, and there must be 8-10 pounds there, and half of it's mine.
What?
I say half of that's mine. Ain't I been padding along with you? Wasn't I here? It's a fair, did you? I want me off.
Your half. Nothing small about you, is there? No, my lad, this is my insurance of this island. I'll give you whatever I don't need.
Oh, now, Mr. Peabody, you wouldn't forget an old friend who came to your side when you was on the beach, would you?
Why, you dirty old windbag. You just be happy if you get anything.
Mr. Peabody, I know a gentleman like you who'll do the right thing.
Let him 5
Don't you
minutes
worry,
ago.
Sidney. You just...
Now, lie cozy, Mr. Peabody. It's a real shame to see a gentleman like you lying all stretched out in the sand. But since you're there, I'll just relieve you of this insurance of yours. And now, I bid you a respectful good day, Mr. Peabody.
In just a moment, the second act of Escape. But first, tomorrow night at most of these same CBS radio stations, hear William Powell in a startling anti-communist drama titled The Man Who Cried Wolf on Suspense. Tomorrow night on CBS Radio. And now, back to Escape.
So he used to fly warplanes, and then now he's a drunk. His dad cut him off the money. He went to Australia. He went to get drunk and woke up on the beach. Well, that's a shitty synopsis, but that's what it is.
Why Junius Peabody hadn't been killed by the Sydney Duck's blow at the base of his skull was hard to understand. But it was only a matter of minutes later that he presented himself at Bendemere's Saloon and General Store. It was the only place Junius was known on the island of Fufuti, and Bendemere was the local authority. He was at once the best loved and the best hated individual, being police, landowner, merchant, trader, and purveyor of bad alcohol. Junius stood a moment, trying to get his breath, and then...
I've been robbed. So, the property of mine has been stolen. Money? This was... No, not money. Then what do you care? What do I care? What are you talking about, man? What was this property you lost? Well, that's not important to you. I want to know if you're going to do anything about it. No. Why should I? But you're the only authority on the island. That's right. Who was the man who stole from you? Sidney Duck. He hit you and ran off? Yes. I could help you, but I won't. I've seen too many of your kind here on the beach. Drift stuff that gets washed in. You're not worth it. All right, I'll do this myself since you won't help. Where are you going? I don't know, but this island isn't so big I can't find the Sydney Duck. You go alone to retake this property of yours? Since I must, yes. You're a fool. They'll probably kill you. They'll probably... They? Those that live at Tenbow Head, that's where the Sydney Duck will be now. That's where they all go when they must hide because of some minor lawlessness. The Sydney Duck has something of mine, and I'm going to get it back. And when I do, I'll be able to see you to talk business. I still think you're a fool. Bendemeer, last night you cashed in the last of my letter of credit. That's right. You were glad enough to help me then. You had money. That's the only drive you have. Money? It's the biggest. But let me tell you more. I don't mind helping a man who is worth something. A man who wants to help himself, but you... I know you're kind. You're filled with rum and useless. You're jetsam. You always will be. You're very sure, aren't you? I know you're kind. Pitying yourself, thinking no one understands you or your problems, so you swill in rum in order to hide. You always will. I'm going out to Timber Head, and I'll be back. I'll give you a drink. If you get back.
It took the better part of 2 hours for Junius to work his way over the lava cliffs and crevices, knife-like and treacherous, to Tenbow Head, or what was better known as the Rocks. And here, his fingernails bleeding, his clothes torn, Junius finally found the Sydney Duck and Willems. They were seated on a small ledge, half hidden by pandanus leaves, overlooking the blue Pacific 30 feet below. Between the hulking German and the little Sydney Duck was the prize. His prize. The gray-brown ball, now enclosed in a torn fish net. Empty-handed, there was no way to take the ambergris from the two of them. Junius crouched low behind the foliage, thinking. And then a plan came to mind, so simple that Junior smiled. With a rush, he cleared the foliage and, stooping, clutched the filled net with one hand. Then, before the two startled men could more than cry out, he dove into the ocean 30 feet below.
Engineer! I was out in the storeroom and Peabody.
That's right. I'm back.
Yes, so I see. But not in good condition.
It'll do. You needn't stare. I'm a paying customer now.
As how?
Ambergris. My property. Over 10 pounds of it.
What? Was it this the Sydney Duck robbed you of?
That's right.
And you went out to the rocks to get it back from him yourself?
From them. Willems, the German, was with him.
By yourself? You did this?
Look, there's the stuff. Now about that business proposition.
Concerning this?
Right?
How much do you want for it?
1,000 silver dollars. Or 2,000 shillings.
I don't have that much about me. Suppose we say a standing credit for 1,000 drinks instead.
I want money, not liquor.
It amounts to the same thing. By the time you've drunk yourself to death, I'd simply have the money back again.
No, it doesn't, because I'm going to leave this island.
Oh.
And to do that, I need money. So let's talk business, Benjamin.
What you want to say, you bloody thief? Mr. Bentley, this man here, this Peabody robbed me and my partner Williams of that what's lying on your counter there. And if you want to do business, it should be with Williams and me.
Yeah, that's right. That's ours. Now, what you give us? I have been told it's not yours.
Sydney, you're a lying little cheat. You know that's mine. I found it.
That belongs to the Sydney Duck.
That's a lie.
Don't tell me how. All of you.
Oh, Mr. Bentley, after all, it's our word against his, and they're two of us.
But what if two of you are lying? How do you suggest it be settled? Fight for it.
Yeah, fine. We'll go outside, the three of us, and whoever comes back in, it's rightly theirs.
Ah, good.
The minute I set foot outside that door, you'd have a knife in my back.
Oh, you don't sound as brave as you did before, Mr. Peabody.
Not against the two of them. I'm not a fool, that's all.
Against one, perhaps.
Villains?
Why not? After all, you could kill Sydney with one blow. You must hate people. Just weaklings.
All right, I'll fight. And if I win?
I'll buy from you. Sydney, sit down in a chair where I can keep an eye on you.
Yeah, right. Give it more proper, Williams.
There are no rules. Go ahead.
You're big and stupid, Willems.
Now that's enough for you, bro.
I'm mad, crazy. I'm
And so you see, it is easily settled. Sydney Cook.
Yeah.
Get your friend out of here. I have business to discuss with Mr. Peabody. You feel better now that you are bathed and whole again, huh?
Now, let's get on with it. I want money for this stuff. I want to leave this place as soon as possible.
You can only get off this island then, and now I allow you. You see, mine is the only boat, the Likely Jane. You can see her through the window there. A brandy?
I had my final drink in this place last night when you threw me out.
Sure.
Quite.
Well, just in case. Now, let me suggest my plan. The island of Nukava, which I own, is well planted with coconut crop. However, Nukava is on the edge of the earth, the farthest corner, and the loneliest, and the driest, There are 12 Kanaka boys there, but I need an agent, someone I can trust.
Why do you tell me?
A white man could live there if he wanted to, and if he were fit to live at all. Of course, once he was there, he'd be stuck for a year on a coral gridiron. There's not a drop of anything to drink, save water, and that is brackish.
Look, Benjamin, what about this ambergris? I've got more than 10 pounds of it. Will you buy it?
You can't very well take it anywhere else if I wouldn't buy it, can you? Now, I'll make you an offer. I'll buy this lump of stuff from you, and I'll buy it either two ways. I'll give you a half interest in Nukaba, and you go there at once to take charge as agent, or else here is the first of your brandy, and I'll keep you perpetually drunk as long as you last.
Nukaba.
Once you're there, Peabody, there's no escape. You'll sit and fry.
What for? Why do you offer me a choice like this?
Because it amuses me. Because I please. Because I know what you'll do.
Yes?
I've been watching men of your sort all my life.
Steal the boat.
And I know just what they're worth. Drift on beaches, scraps, trash, jetsam, regeneration,
The question
rotten
is, when do you
dribble.
steal the boat?
You can't save yourself any more than you could lift yourself by your own bootstraps. It suits me to prove you this way.
There's your stinking brandy on the floor to say that you're wrong, Benjamin. You lose.
Oh, so?
Yes. I'll go to Nukaba.
As my agent,
Yes.
you'll stay and run the island for a year.
Yes. They're only to prove there are some scraps thrown on the beach that are worth something.
So I see. So I see. The likely Jane will sail within an hour.
Yes. I'll be aboard.
An hour or so later, as Bendemeer watched the likely Jane set a course for Nukaba, there was a smile on the face of that remarkable man, curiously unlike that of a loser's chagrin. He was still smiling as he went back to his storeroom to put the place to rights. There was a clutter of odds and ends of cargo from one of his surf boats, which had upset the day before while hauling cargo out to his schooner. Most of it had been salvaged by his Kanaka boys along the shore. But a certain tub containing tallow had lost a part of its contents. However, he was able now to restore the missing tallow, a large lump, weighing perhaps 10 pounds or so.
Under the direction of Norman MacDonald, Escape has brought you Jetsam by John Russell, adapted by Norman MacDonald and starring Ben Wright.
That's how
Featured
that
cast were John Boehner as Bendemeer, Lawrence Dopkin as Sir John, and Charlie Lung as the Sydney Duck. The narrator was Edgar Barrier. Editorial supervision is by John Meston, and the special music for Escape is composed and conducted by Lee Stevens. Next week. You are standing in inky blackness, looking up a long flight of stairs,
That's my building.
at the top of which lurks something unbelievably evil.
Yeah.
While in the moving shadows behind you, coming closer to you, is the shadowy figure of something that could only come from a nightmare. So listen next week when Escape brings you Anthony Ellis's terrifying story, I Saw Myself Running. Tomorrow, radio, here Robert Q. Lewis filling in for Arthur Godfrey, who's off on an Air Force mission. On House Party, another of our Monday through Friday mainstays here on CBS Radio, popular Art Linkletter holds the reins. Don't miss them tomorrow on most of these same CBS radio stations. This is Roy Rowan speaking. America now listens to 105 million radio sets and listens most to the CBS Radio Network.
Chance of Sunday, mostly clear, lows around 20, northwest wind 5 to 10 miles an hour. Monday, mostly cloudy.
Stay tuned for Archie Andrews next on Theater of the Mind. Start your weekdays with Morning Live on CHCH.
Good morning, I'm Annette Holm. Here's what we're working on.
Stream or tune in at 6
Thursday,
a.m. for
mostly cloudy with a 40%.
with weekly briefs from health professionals and local officials.
This is Charles Adler Tonight. Once again, here is Charles Adler.
So we've been talking about unemployment. Real unemployment will be at over 12% right now. If stats can actually count at the people who do want to work, but aren't looking for work at the moment.
Wait, what?
Because there's no work for them in the sector they're in, that they're looking
so
at.
they don't get counted.
So they're not looking right now.
Yeah, so
They don't count.
Yeah.
They're being discounted. So 12%, I think anyone who's paid attention to news in the last number of years knows that 12% is a raw number. Raw is not very good at all. However, many analysts seem to be, at least publicly, writing it off as things, in light of the pandemic, in light of everything else that's going on, that what we've got right now is pretty good, and most people who are laid off are in a handful of sectors.
a handful.
Yeah, but if this is not possible, perhaps you can try some other ones. I see the next action as a kind of reward to your, achieving your health goals. Buy yourself a piece of workout gear.
That wasn't an advertisement.
National Society. He said the instrument is famous for its uniqueness and exquisite sound quality.
There is a saying in Yunnan that the sounds of the Hulu Si are able to deliver deep and rich emotional expressions, which can bring peace, relaxation, and pleasant nostalgia. Another attractive feature of it
way because it's quite steep rock. So there is a tunnel within the rock which helps you to get from the top of the hill to the seaside. There is also a hockey rink, which is apparently a little bit hidden underground. There is, of course, helipad, vineyards.
A vineyard.
Yeah. I think a few of them. Also, the seafood farm is just tremendous.
Crazy stuff, Olga. But there's one item which is even crazier: the loo brush, the humble loo brush in this building. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so Navalny managed to get a floor plan that included detailed description of, decoration of walls, rooms, furniture, everything. It all cost just incredible money, million here, million there. So the easiest thing to imagine.
I don't know whose drug dealing house that was.
Well, Mary, that was quite an evening. I guess this time we showed the Hendersons who plays the best game of bridge.
Yes, dear. How much did we lose?
Well, if you were to turn my lead in that last hand, we'd have won.
Now, Fred, let's not rehash that last hand all night. The game's over, it's late, and I'm tired. So open the door and let's get to bed.
All right. Oh, good grief.
What's the matter?
Oh, nothing, dear, but you better let me have your keys.
All right, dear. My keys? My house keys?
Yes, dear, I didn't take mine when we went out.
But Fred, my keys are in my purse, and I told her I was leaving my purse home tonight.
All right.
That got to do with opening
Everybody in Riverdale Drive.
purse. You mean to say your keys are locked inside the house too?
I'm afraid so.
How the hell did you all you walked across the street, didn't you?
It looks that way.
How'd you lock the door?
For this to happen, no keys. Mary, how can you be so absent-minded? You're always forgetting things.
Fred,
Never saw anyone like you for forgetting things.
Fred, you forgot your keys too.
Where does
remember?
Archie come into this shit?
So, that's right, I didn't. Oh, doesn't matter, dear, doesn't matter. I'll just ring the bell and wake Archie up, that's all.
All right, for a minute I was afraid you... Wake Archie up? Fred, you can't do that.
Why not?
The boy's probably just gotten asleep.
But Mary,
You wake him up now and you'll never get back to bed.
Mary,
Besides, it's not fair to Archie to wake him out of a sound sleep. He's a growing boy and he needs his sleep.
Mary, look, I'm not a growing boy, but I need sleep, too.
Fred, I know that, but do we have to wake Archie?
No, we don't have to wake him. We can just curl up on the front lawn and spend the night there.
Oh, dear. Well, all right, Fred, I suppose we have to wake the boy up. Ring the bell.
All right. Don't know why you couldn't have said that 5 minutes ago. Stand here all night arguing about whether to get into my own house or not. Cold out here, too. What's taking that boy so long, anyway?
Well, he'll be down in a minute. He has to put on his bathrobe and slippers, doesn't he?
Mary, if Archie were a centipede, he could have put his slippers on by this time. I'll ring it again. Now what's keeping him?
Well, he always was a sound sleeper.
Mary, a dead man would have heard the bell by this time.
Well, try calling him.
Oh, me, all right, dear. I'll call him. Archie!
Call him, dear.
Archie!
Call again.
Archie!
Oh, shit, you could have come from this.
Call again.
Mary, you sound like a telephone operator. Never mind, dear, never mind. Archie!
You calling me back?
Yes, it's about time you heard me.
About time?
Yes.
Fred,
Mary, I'll handle this. Yes, about time. I rang that bell for an hour.
But, Dad,
now get down here and open this door.
Oh, Dad.
And hurry up.
Oh, Dad.
I can't stand here all night.
Fred, the boy's...
Mary, please.
But, Fred, I'm trying to tell you, Archie is right there beside you.
Mary, I know that, but what difference does it make if he is? Good girl, right here. Archie, where did you come from?
Jughead's house, Dad. I went over there to do some homework with him right after you and Mom left for the Hendersons.
Oh, fine. And I thought you were up and you... Oh, well, it doesn't matter now. As long as you're here, Archie. As long as you're here, unlock that front door.
Okay, Dad. Give me your keys.
All right. I have them right here in my key. Archie, that's the point. I don't have my keys. I left them in the house.
Gee whiz, you did?
Yes, I did. Now, use your own keys and open that door.
Gee whiz, Dad, when I went to Jughead's house, I forgot you had gone out and I didn't take my keys with me.
Archie, never mind the details.
The door's not locked, is it?
What did you say?
I said I didn't take my keys with me.
Mary, did you hear what his boy said? He didn't take it.
Fred, don't make a scene.
Don't make a scene. Mary,
After all, if we both forgot our keys, why shouldn't Archie be entitled to forget his?
Because nobody with any brains ever. I mean, if he took after me, he has no right to.
He's got two bad sets of keys.
Fred, it looks like we're locked out. Let's face it.
Mary, I am facing it, but I don't know what to do about it.
Gee whiz, maybe the back door is open. No, dear, it isn't. You know that ever since the time burglars broke into Mrs. Hastings' house and took $6 and Mr. Hastings' wig, I always lock all the windows and doors before we go out so nobody can get in.
Including us.
Well, Fred, I didn't forget the keys on purpose, you know.
Yes, Mary, What's that?
She wished that's our phone.
Oh, fine.
Oh, dear. I wonder who it could be.
Might be Veronica.
Might even be Veronica. Fred, we've got to answer the phone.
And just how do you suggest I do that from out here?
Gee whiz, maybe if we shouted hello real loud, they'd hear. Oh, dear. So frustrating to hear it not being able to answer it.
Mary, look, if it's important, they'll call back later. Besides, it seems to have stopped now anyway.
Yes, so. Fred, we've got to get into that house.
Yes, Mary, I know that, but how?
Hey, gee whiz.
What is it?
An open window.
An open window? Where? Where, Archie? Where?
Up there in my room.
Good. We've just climbed through and up there. In your room?
Uh-huh.
Oh, great. Archie, look, a lot of help that is. How are we going to get into an open window up on the second floor? Why?
Gee whiz, no, Dad. We can use our step ladder.
Step ladder?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, step ladder. Archie, that's a wonderful idea. Fine, Archie, quick. Go get the ladder.
Okay, Dad. It's down in the basement. Give me your key.
All right, I have it right here. Archie, for the last time, I don't have my keys, so please quit asking for them.
Gee whiz, I forgot. Archie, are you sure the ladder's down in the basement? Belongs in the garage.
Well, I'm positive, Mom. I saw it down there just this afternoon. But what the dickens is it doing there?
You put it there.
Oh.
Fred, never mind what it's doing there. We can't get it that fast.
Oh, I guess so. But, Mary, what are we going to do? We can't stay here all night.
Gee whiz, Dad, I know.
No, what?
Well, I can just run next door to Betty's house and borrow their ladder.
Their ladder?
Sure, Dad. Don't you remember that big extension ladder that Betty's father has?
Oh, yes. That's just what we need. Run over and borrow.
Okay, Dad, be right back.
Well, Mary, now we get
He's not coming back.
As soon as I can get that ladder, we just climb up to that open window up there and get into the house. Yes, sir. It's a good thing I thought of Betty's father's ladder.
You thought of it. Fred Andrews, it was Archie who thought of it, not you.
All right, dear. All right. No, Archie thought of it. The main thing is that as soon as he gets the ladder, we'll get in.
Oh,
Great. Junkhead.
What you expect? The shadow?
Dear, this is going to be...
No, Junkhead, I did not expect the shadow, nor you either.
Jughead, what are you doing here?
All I'm saying is I brought the big book back. You what? Brought the big book back. Jughead, what is a big book back?
Gee whiz, you don't understand. There's no such thing as a big book back.
Didn't you say you just brought one?
No, I said I brought the big book back.
Jughead, I still don't know what the dickens you're talking about.
I'm talking about Archie's history book.
History book?
Uh-huh. Archie has two history books, a big one and a small one.
What about it?
Well, he left the big one at my house.
Yes?
I thought he might need it, so I brought the big book back. For pity's sake. Jughead, why didn't you say so? I did, 5 times. Hey, what are you folks doing out here anyway?
Jug, we're waiting for Archie to get back to the ladder. We're locked out.
Locked out? Locked out of your house? Yes, Jughead, locked out of the house. My Uncle Herman was locked out of the house once, and he had to pick the lock with a hairpin. With a hairpin? Uh-huh. And boy, did he have trouble.
What kind of trouble?
Wrong house? For pity's sake. Jughead, that's very interesting, but we don't have time for your stories about your Uncle Herman right now.
Wait a minute.
What?
Mary, that's a wonderful idea.
What's a wonderful idea?
Why wait for Archie to get back to that ladder and then have to go climb through a window? I bet I could pick that lock.
Fred, you're fooling.
I am not. As a matter of fact, picking the lock is very simple. The chief of police was showing us how it's done down at the Chamber of Commerce lecture on crime prevention last month. Why, it's a sin.
Oh, but Fred, I
tell you, there's nothing to it there. Besides, what do we have to lose?
A hairpin.
Don't be quiet.
He's going to break the hairpin off in the lock.
Yes,
then they're going to find out it's not
There
locked.
should be one of my hair right here. Oh, here it is, dear.
Oh, thank you, dear. Thank you. I should have thought of this long ago. Now, just watch the old master go to work.
Yeah, Raffles Andrews, they call him.
Just be quiet. Now, just put the hairpin in here. Then I turn it around till it catches on the tumbler like that. Then I give it a little twist and... that's funny.
Wait, does it work?
I know, dear. There must be something wrong with the lock. The hairpin's stuck in it.
You mean you can't get the hairpin out?
No, dear, I can't. When the chief of police did it, it was the simplest thing I ever saw.
Hey, Andrews, a lot of help you are. Now the lock's jammed and we'll have to call someone in tomorrow to fix it.
Don't you have a key for the back door?
We were.
What's the back door?
We just wait for Archie to bring the letter. Then after we get into the house, I'll get some flyers and get that haircut out myself. No, I don't.
Oh, here's the
He has the letter.
Yeah, I got the letter, Jack. But I had to wake Betty's father up, and boy, was he mad. Oh, dear. Was he very mad?
No, it doesn't matter, Mary.
Look at what Veronica says.
I'll apologize to him in the morning. The main thing is we have the letter, and now we can get into the house.
Okay.
All right, now, then, let's hear. Oh, fine.
There goes the phone again. Oh, dear. There must be something important. Yeah, I bet it's Veronica. She said she'd call. And I said I'd be home. And she'll be come out with another girl. What?
There was no sense standing here moaning about that phone. We can't answer it. Now, the sooner we get that ladder set up, and the sooner we get up to where we're going, and we can answer the phone, call Veronica, and see if she's the one who's calling.
I guess that.
Stop now, anyway. Well, come on, get the ladder and... What was that?
I don't know. Gee whiz, it sounds like Jughead.
Archie, don't be silly. Jughead is right here. Good grief, where is Jughead?
Fred, that is Jughead.
Yes, Mary, but where the dickens is he?
Jughead! Where are you?
Down in the basement. How could he be down in the basement?
Fred, I don't know. That basement window over there is open. He must have gone in through that.
Oh, good grief. Jughead, are you down there?
You're ready. Get me out of here.
Jughead, calm down for a minute. How did you get in there?
I saw this window open and I climbed in so I could go upstairs and open the first door.
Oh, Jughead, that's wonderful. Go ahead, go on upstairs and open the door for us.
That's just it, I can't. I laid in a closet or something in this box. Oh, for pity's sake. Fred, that window leads into the storage closet where I keep my jams and jellies and preserves.
Good grief, Mary, do you keep that closet locked?
No, dear, it isn't locked, but I keep a piece of wood in the latch so the door won't swing open.
And as far as Jughead's concerned, it's locked.
Get me out of this closet!
Jughead, listen, can't you climb back out of the window?
No, I had to jump down and I had nothing to stay on to get back up. There's nothing here but some jars. Fred, tell him not to dare stand on those jars.
Mary,
those are my best jams and jellies.
Mary,
He'll break every one of them if he tries to stand on them.
Mary! I'll tell him. Now, for Pete's sake, calm down and quit worrying about your jams and jellies.
Well, Fred, I don't want him to break them. It took me
Mary,
time to know.
I'll tell him.
All right, dear.
Jughead, look.
I'm looking, but it's too dark to see anything.
Then listen.
I'm listening.
It looks like you had to stay right where you are for a while.
I'm listening.
Jughead!
Okay.
Now, Jughead, it will take us just a minute to get that ladder up and get into the house. And as soon as we do, we'll come down and let you out of there. But right now, there's nothing you can do but sit there and be patient. You understand?
He went okay.
Okay. Now remember, don't try to climb out. You'll only have an accident.
Okay, but hurry up. The trouble cars here in here.
Yes, we'll hurry as fast as we can, Jughead. Oh. Come on, Archie, let's put that ladder up.
Okay, Dad. Boy, but that Jughead sure gets into things.
He certainly does. We'll have him out in a minute. Now, let's just put this ladder up against the house.
Okay, Dad, I have this time.
Oh, good. Stand it against the house. There we are.
Fred, it doesn't reach high enough.
Of course it doesn't, dear, not yet. We have to raise the extension half to where we want it. Oh. Doc, you hold the ladder now. Pull on this rope to raise the other half of the ladder.
Oh, okay, Dad.
Okay. Hold it.
Yeah, attaboy, Dad. It's going up.
It's going up, all right.
Just a little loud, dear.
How's that?
Oh, yeah, that's fine, Dad. It's right under my window.
All right. Now we're all set. Archie, go up that ladder and climb.
Dad,
Huh?
don't you dare send Archie up that ladder.
Oh, why not?
Because it's dangerous, that's why not. He might slip and fall right off the ladder and break a leg. Fred, you go up.
All right, I'll go. Oh, go up. Oh, it's all right if I slip and break a leg, I suppose. It doesn't matter if I...
Hey, I didn't mean that. about it, dear. You know how reckless youngsters are.
With Mom?
I'm not reckless.
Never mind, Archie. Your mother is right. I'll go up the
Don't
ladder.
have to drive.
It was okay. But I can climb a ladder just as good as anyone. There's some other time, Archie. Well, here I go.
Be careful now, Fred.
Here I am, here I am.
Attaboy, Dad. Keep going.
Yes, Archie.
Are they supposed to lock that ladder open?
You're coming to the extension now. Careful.
I know it, Archie, I know it.
Dad, you're slipping. Fred, what happened?
Mary, you saw what happened. I got halfway up that ladder, the darn extension slipped, and I slid back down. That's what happened. Gee whiz. You know, it probably didn't lock in place like it was supposed to. It probably didn't. I was lucky I didn't fall off there and break my neck.
Hello, everybody. Gee whiz, Betty.
Oh, fine.
Hello, Betty. How's the ladder working out, Mr. Andrews?
Betty, so far the ladder is not working out.
It isn't?
No, it isn't. I put the ladder up, and I got halfway up, then the extension slid back, and I slid off the ladder.
Oh, golly, no wonder.
Huh?
You've got the ladder wrong side out.
Wrong side out?
Oh, sure. Turn it over so the extension part is outside, and then it can't slip.
Oh, well, is that why it slipped?
Oh, sure it is, Mr. Andrews. I'm sure that's why. Positive that's why. I think.
Well, maybe you're right, Betty. Well, yeah, I think you are right. Come on, Archie, let's twist the ladder around so I can use the other side of it.
Okay, Dad.
Easy now. There we are. Now I'll raise the extension again, and we're all set.
Yeah, sure.
Right, I should have thought of that myself. Now it's okay.
Oh, Fred, be careful. Oh, don't worry, Mrs. Andrews. It'll work all right now.
Yes, sir. Can't miss now. After all, the ladder is
first time.
I'll get up there this time. My name is Fred Andrews. Call me Joe.
Gee whiz. Golly, Fred, did you hurt yourself?
Mary, I didn't do myself any good. Oh, my back.
Hey, golly, I'm sorry, Mr. Andrews. I guess the other way was right in the first place.
Right in the first place. Betty,
Fred, don't make a scene.
Don't make a scene. I fall off a ladder and nearly killed myself because Betty tells me to turn it over, and you tell me not to make a scene. Mary,
Arguing about it won't do any good. If you don't know how to use that ladder, don't use it. But we've got to get into the house.
All right, dear, all right. But if we're going to get into that house, Mary, we'll have to find some other way. Oh, great.
Golly, what's that?
Jughead, he's in the basement.
Oh, dear. Fred, we better see what's the matter. Jughead sounds like he's in trouble.
Oh, dear. Jughead, what is it? Oh, Jughead, I'm right here. What's the matter? Jughead, I said I'm right here. What's the matter? There's a mouse in here.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
Jughead, you mean to say you made all that noise because there's a little mouse in there? Yeah, I'm afraid of mice in the dark. Oh, fine. Jughead, look. If there is a mouse in there, believe me, he's more afraid of you than you are of him. Yeah, but he's afraid of you. Well, then you may be sure he's gone by now, so just be quiet. Okay, but when do I get out of here? As soon as we get into the house. Just be patient. He was okay, but hurry up. Yes, Jughead. Oh, that Jughead. Mary, I tell you, that boy is not right.
Never mind, Jughead. No, we still have to get into the house. It's getting late.
Mary, don't you think I want to get into that house as much as you do?
Yes, dear, but do something about it.
I'm trying to, dear. I'm trying. Oh, no.
She was the phone again. Golly, and you can't answer it, can you?
No, we can't answer it. So I don't want to hear any more moaning about how important the call probably is. Just let the darn thing ring and ignore it.
Yeah, Dad.
But whoever it is sure keeps calling back. Archie, it may be 3 different people who have called. Or it may even be 3 wrong numbers for all we know. But just forget the darn thing. Okay, Dad, okay. Stop anyway again. Now, does anybody have any ideas of how we're going to get into this house?
Mr. Andrews?
Yes?
I just noticed something on the ladder.
Betty, I don't want to hear any more about that ladder. It is a menace to life and limb, and I'm not going up on it again for $1 million.
Okay, Mr. Andrews, but I'm just curious about whether you locked it.
Locked it?
Well, yes, you see this gadget? It says lock here. That's so it won't slip back.
Oh, good grief. I never saw that.
Gee whiz, no wonder the ladder kept slipping, for pity's sake. Say, do you think it's safe to try it again if you lock it with that gadget?
Well, I don't know, Mary.
And, Dad, I'll hold the ladder this time, and we'll be doubly sure it won't slip.
No, maybe so. All right, Archie. I don't know what else we can do. Let's put the ladder up there again.
Yeah, okay, Dad.
There we are. Now I'll raise the extension again.
Oh, that's fine, Mr. Andrews.
All right, now, Archie, lock that gadget.
Okay, Dad.
There. Now I bet it won't slip in 1,000,000 years. I don't expect to be on the ladder that long. But you hold it anyway, now, do you hear?
Oh, yes, sir, Dad. I'll hold it with all my strength.
All right. Now maybe we can get into this house.
Well, and just what's going on here?
Oh, I'm just going up this ladder to see. Oh, good grief. Well, policeman.
Oh, dear. Where's Ollie?
Well,
hello out there. A nice evening.
Yes. Lovely evening. But I asked you what's going on here.
Well, officer, you see, my name is Fred Andrews, and this is my wife, Mary Andrews, and this is my son, Archie.
Never mind the family history. What's going on here?
Well, I'm getting to that, officer. I'm getting to that. You see, I live here, and we're locked out of the house. Locked out? Yes, we forgot our keys, and we're trying to get into the house. And if you wait just a minute till we get in, officer, I'll be glad to show you my mortgage and prove it's my house and everything.
What was that?
Good grief. Jughead again. Who? Jughead. He's in the basement, and he's afraid
of the basement? Listen, I thought you said you were locked out.
Oh, we are, officer. We're locked out, and Jughead is locked in.
Oh, you're locked out, and he's locked in.
Yes, he's in the preserve closet, officer.
Look, Mary,
I don't understand. Yeah, you see, he's really in a jam, you might say. You get it?
Be quiet. Jughead, what's the matter now? Jughead, I told you not to be afraid of one little mouse.
I'm not afraid anybody, Fred.
Jughead, be quiet for just a minute. We're having a little trouble here.
Okay.
Oh, that boy. Now, officer, I can explain the whole thing. My wife and I went out to play some bridge.
Wait a minute. I'm not interested in any stories. I want to see proof that you own this house. And I want to see whoever it is you've got locked in that basement.
Oh, we don't have him locked in there.
Never mind. You just go ahead and get into that house, and then we'll get this thing straightened out.
All right, officer. I will right now. Archie, hold this ladder.
Okay, Dad. Okay, I got it.
I'm sure you hold it with the straw.
Come on, now. Quit stalling.
Guarantee the door's not locked.
Yes, officer. I am. Oh, I can hold the ladder now. Okay, Dad, I am. Hold the ladder.
My goodness, what's going on here? Veronica. Gee whiz, Veronica.
I thought you Archie said he was going to.
Hello, Archie.
Hold the ladder a little steadier, Archie.
Hi, y'all, Archie-kin.
Archie, the ladder is moving a little. Hold it tight.
It's awful nice to see you all, Archie. Here.
Hold on, Archie. Come on now. Hurry up there. I am, officer. I am.
What's going on here anyway?
Archie, hold the ladder. It's wobbly.
That's a long story, Veronica. But were you trying to call here a while ago? Oh, no, Archie.
Archie, hold the ladder. I'm going to fall. I'm going to fall. Well,
That was a softer landing than I expected. Get off my chest!
You landed right on the policeman.
Mary, Archie, if you...
Oh, goodness, I didn't know you were on that anatomy thing.
Monica, please. Get off my chest! Yes, officer, yes, I'm very sorry. Terribly sorry. Never mind the apologies. Just get off my chest! Yes, officer. Archie, give me a hand. Here, Dad. Thank you. Now, officer, what's going on? Jughead, how'd you get off? I piled up a bunch of jars and climbed out. Jars? My precious preserved jars? Jughead, did you break any of those jars? My shoes weren't always strawberry colored. My strawberry jam! My best jam, please. Oh, it was Jughead anyway. Just a minute. What a minute. Please. That's better. Now listen to me all day. This nonsense has gone far enough. Too far, in fact.
Yes, Mr. Andrews. Yes, dear. Yes, sir.
Be quiet. Now, there's one thing I want to say. There's one thing I want to say. I don't know what kind of shenanigans are going on around here. But, mister, if you can explain this, you better start talking and talk quick.
But, officer, I tell you, I can't explain the whole thing. My wife and I came home from a bridge game a while ago, and we discovered we didn't have our keys, and the front door was locked. You see, this door right here was locked tighter than a drum, so we had to find good grief, the door. It opened.
It was open all the time.
Oh.
And we never tried the door to see if it was locked.
Oh, no.
No cigarettes, no alcohol, no guns.
It's half an hour later and things have finally quieted down. We find Archie and his folks inside the house.
How long is this fucking show?
Oh boy, it feels good to sit down.
It certainly does, dear.
And how? Boy, what a night.
Yes, what a... Oh, great. That phone again.
Well, gee whiz, I'll get it, Dad. Maybe that's the same person who was calling before.
Oh.
She's got his keys.
Mary, I have never seen such a night.
Neither have I, dear. But it's all over now. I think you did a wonderful job of explaining things to that policeman.
Well, Mary, it wasn't easy. Oh, but now that it's all over, let's just forget the whole thing, shall we?
Yes,
Gee whiz,
dear.
can you imagine that?
Imagine what?
That was Mr. Henderson calling. Said he'd been trying to reach you ever since you left his house.
Reach me? What for?
To tell you that you left your keys there.
Left my keys?
Trying to reach you.
You've been listening to another chapter of the Adventures of Archie Andrews, written by Carl Jantel and based on the copyrighted feature appearing in Archie Comics magazine.
Listening? I hope
Based
you'll
on
be
the
with me next week
copyrighted
as I
feature.
uncover more gems from the golden age
That
of radio.
was
Thanks to Paul
the
Stringer and
huge
Joel
days you get,
Schoenwell
a
for
huge
technical
movie made
support.
from a video
The
game,
executive producer for Theater of the Mind is Moses Neimer. Stay tuned for Ziggy and Stardust next on Zoomer Radio. I'm Frank Proctor. Have a wonderful weekend.
These guys don't own this
Radio
material.
Toronto, CFZM FM and CFZM AM, owned and operated by MZ Media.
Oh my god.
There's nothing you can do that make me run away from this clash, yeah. This clash, yeah. And there is no DJ can put the competition to danger.
Welcome to Mi'kmaq Matter.
Hello, this call is from...
First, we celebrated.
Gunshot liquor.
50 drum beating like so 50. I'm Trinidad when my boy smoke a coke. Like your homie got hit. He was riding like the chauffeur. Planet of the apes, I was blood clot coke. Pork pop, come with a strap.
Podium hip.
That was family-friendly entertainment.
Nous la gazelle, concours ange, je dessiné pour le monde, quoi. Je conservé, va le faire.
When bullets fly by, when bullets fly by, what you gon' do when them bullets fly by? When bullets fly by, when bullets fly by, what you gon' do when them bullets fly by? What you gon' do when them bullets fly by? What you gon' do when them bullets fly by? What you gon' do when them bullets fly by? What you gon' do when them bullets fly by? Pop, pop when you hear the Glock. Duck down, nigga, cause I'm in your spot. Give it up, nigga, you might get shot. I'm the hot shot, so you gonna get shot. Any nigga out here might feel the pop. My 9mm gonna make you drop. I talk about my 9 cause the shit's so hot. When shit goes down, he's ready to pop. He's stressed out, and I'm trigger happy. I gotta take the life and it feels so nasty. Believe me, this shit ain't easy. I'm a nigga with attitude, so fuck you pussy. When bullets fly by, when bullets fly by, what you gon' do when them bullets fly by? When bullets fly by, when bullets fly by, what you gon' do when them bullets fly by? What you gon' do when them bullets fly by? What you gon'
This one's for the raper.
Now I'm about to put y'all with some new shit.
It's don't get close. You already know. Yes. Huh?
Nothing on my wrist, nothing on my neck, nothing on my fist, it's all on my check. Don't you get the gist? I got the confidence, don't need a brand on my chest. Hey, I know what my value is. Hey, wealthy people don't need jewelry. Hey, look at 21 Savage and Bill Gates. Hey, rap Industry got a complex. I turned reality into a lucid dream. I turned a lucid dream into whipped cream. Cash rules, nothing around me. I only use it for paper planes, actually. I'm the opposite of Microsoft, I'm big and hard. Let that resonate, maybe a little more. I got that lyricism sprinkled with a lot of flow. I made my sauce authentic on a chopping board. Baby, it's spicy, be careful. Don't shake the bottle too much, be gentle. It's kinda high on the Scoville level. Don't burn your tongue, don't get it in your eyes too. I turned reality into a lucid dream. I turned a lucid dream into whipped cream. Cash rules, nothing around me. I only use it for paper planes, actually. Self-care, yeah, I got a lot of that. No food tastes good as having a six-pack. You should cut your snacks same way you cut that crack. Then you wouldn't look fat as a Cadillac. Baby, looking like a snack. I can see you did them squats on the squat rack. I don't need a beat, I don't really need a track. You can be my producer with your booty clap. I turned reality into a lucid dream. I turned a lucid dream into whipped cream. Cash rules, nothing around me. I only use it for paper planes, actually. Baby, keep your pants on, zip tight, locked off. This is not the time for you to rack it up. We be in court, the judge is getting cross. You robbed the bank, baby, you took your mask off. You took 100K and left it at my front door. Thought it was funny, nice joke. Cause you know I bail you out no matter what the cost. I need that flavor, baby, shit, cause I got the sauce. Cause I got the sauce. I said it cause I got the sauce. Shit, cause I got the sauce. Shit, cause I got the sauce.
The New York Times report that went around the world, and it's found that more conservative vaccines, they were terrible at dealing with the spread of the virus at the start of the pandemic. They are now more efficient with getting the vaccine to their people than countries like Canada is, or the European Union, or some of the democratic states like California, Illinois, or Minnesota. There's this interesting role reversal that's taking place, and the New York Times speculates, well, why is that happening? It's because I want
to focus with Mark and Shala on what could be done at this point, because we can talk until the cows come home about the past. We can demand that the government show us these so-called contracts that they owe us.
Did you miss the
we can do all of that. But if we're just focused on trying to get as much vaccine to as many arms as possible, at this point in the process, what could any government do?
We see transactions, look at the history of those transactions, and that way I disagree with the UK regulators' comments that started the show about how there's nothing to inspect. That's completely not true. You can actually go and inspect the full transaction history, the entire 10-year plus history of all Bitcoin transactions. There's quite a bit actually to actually look at to understand what it is you're using.
Okay. Marta, I'm going to bring you in. You're involved in Filecoin. I'm going to ask you to what that is and give us a sense of why there are various currencies and they're different, and they're not necessarily, I think Filecoin isn't already an investment vehicle in the way that Garrick was describing.
Absolutely. For me, I think there are plenty of cryptocurrencies out there that are not intended to be investments. Filecoin is one of them. So Filecoin is actually a decentralized storage network. It's your network that stores files, but has built-in economic incentives to ensure that files are stored over time. So it's sort of like Airbnb for file storage. So I had mentioned the ability to program your money, and basically it allows you to write a program that says, store my files on someone else's computer, chopped up and encrypted, and basically check whether they're being stored and automatically compensate people for storing my files. And so that creates an incentive layer potentially for a web that is decentralized and not centralized.
Their files.
That's a great idea, an Airbnb for file storage. I hope they give decent coffee. Catherine, there are also something called DeFi currencies, an abbreviation, I think, for decentralized finance. Why is that so important?
Well, what DeFi currencies actually do is enable people to actually create or pay for things in a decentralized fashion. So recently there was the GameStop example where, on Reddit pushed up the prices of the GameStop shares, and that was done by the app. And the Robinhood app was then sort of, prevented people from being able to trade these shares. If they had been done using the DeFi protocol, for example, it would not have been possible for Robinhood to prevent, average everyday people trading in those shares.
Getting round regulations, circumventing it.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is what I think the whole concept of decentralization, why it's so fascinating, so exciting, is this idea that it removes the need for these intermediaries. So traditionally, we've needed the intermediary of a central bank to create trust in our currency, and instead we're using decentralized mathematics, basically, to create trust in the currency of, a cryptocurrency.
To spend your time and energy than to deal with.
Deal with what? Was that a nursing home ad? Music program or the animal documentary?